Alright, so another day and here I am welding on Roscoe. I do need to change out the transmission on Way Cool Jr., but that's not going to happen today. It's too cold to be laying on the floor, so instead I'm standing out here in the breeze and welding. Maybe not the smartest decision, but so I've got my piece trimmed and ready to go in. You can see there's a couple little pieces I'm going to have to patch there, and those were the reason I didn't get that metal with this patch piece is because my buddy needed the center high mount stoplight for his truck, and so I cut kind of wide around it to give him plenty of sheet metal to use on his, and I can patch these pieces in pretty easy. I've got this piece trimmed. I just need to clean up the metal here. It's got a little bit of rusty in the past 2-3 weeks since I did this piece. You know, time constraints be what they are. I didn't get to do all the work I wanted to when I did it, but I'll get this cleaned up. I'm going to stitch this in and then weld it together. But one thing you notice here, whenever I hang this up here, see that gap there between these two? I was really starting to stress that for a minute, and then I realized if you put just a little bit of pressure on this, it meets up. So I think that's where it needs to be. I just need to weld this piece in, and when I do, I'll be able to, you know, stress this piece to get it up to weld it, and then it'll all be nice and coherent. Either that, or it's, you know, I'm making a huge mistake and the window's going to pop out every 6 months. We'll find out. Alright, so I'm about halfway done with the welding. You can see it's going a whole lot better than last time. The welding tips did make a difference. I'm going nice and easy. I've got the right size tip, and you know, I've got the finish, the butt up a little bit better. I got a little bit of a problem there, don't I? Huh? That just popped up. I noticed my pressure is running a little lower than I usually run, but I've also read where, you know, when you're doing a lot of fine metal work like this, running a lower pressure is actually recommended. So I haven't adjusted it. It seems like it's going good. I like it. So I'm going to finish welding this up, and then I'll sand it down and see if it's smooth, see what I need to fill in. There's a little bit of ugliness. I had a little bit of a gap here that I had to fill in, so there's a little bit of ugliness there, but I think overall it's going to turn out nice. Alright, I got it welded in, started grinding it down. I didn't get a picture of it when it was fully welded, sorry. But it's going pretty good, but sure enough, if you look, there's some waviness. Right here there's a dent, so that's not part of the waviness, but here where I welded I can see the waviness. Right here there's a high spot, but again, this is going to be a work truck. The main thing I'm worried about is if this channel here is flat, and it is. There's no waviness there. If that's the right size, shape, and it's flat, that'll hold the window in. If there's waviness here, it's a work truck. It'll look ugly, and who cares? The whole truck's going to look ugly. Alright, when it comes to welding, you can never have enough clamps. You can see I've got this flush now. Over here it's not quite flush. I'm going to put some welds in here on these spot welds, and when I do, I'll take the clamps off, move them over here, get this cinched together, and I'll have this welded, these two pieces welded together, and then all I've got left is to patch these two holes. I've got to do all these spot welds on both sides. For now, I'm just going to do a few on this side. I'll probably go inside and do a few there. But yeah, it's looking good. Alright, so you can see I didn't fill these spot welds in completely. I just did basically 3 dots, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom, just to tack them in. The spot weld cutter cuts a nice big hole there, so if I filled all those in, that'd be kind of wasteful. That right there is good enough. That'll hold it. So now I'm just going to go cut some pieces for this and weld them in. Alright, sun's almost down. I got what I can get done. So you can see, even with some primer on it, you can see the ripples. I've got some more grinding to do in some places. Basically, I just wanted to protect this tonight. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I may not get back to the truck for a week or two. I've got some pinholes to seal up, to weld and paint over. So sometime in the next couple days, I'll get back out here again, or sometime in the next couple weeks, I'll get back out here and touch up all that a little bit. I'll do some more grinding, try to even those patch panels out. But I think I'm ready to get the rear window put in and start reassembling the interior of this truck. You know, I've got to get to the wiring here soon before I forget how that harness all goes together. I know I shot the video on how to put the dashboard back in, but the wiring harness is going to need some work. I chopped part off this harness because I thought this was the harness that was bad, and I already had some stuff chopped off. And then I go and find the other harness, and that's the one that's been eaten by rats. So I've got a wiring repair to do to this harness. I'm going to have to rob stuff from the other harness to splice it in. We'll see how it goes. I may have to go to pull apart for a third harness. Oh well. But progress is being made. But you know, once again, you can see on the side there's a little bit of waviness here. All in all, not too bad. But if you're going to do your own body work, don't trust those guys on YouTube to show you how easy it is. One thing with the waviness, I know, and this is pretty much the area of waviness right here. It's actually not terrible throughout the rest of it. They say when you're doing this, weld slowly, and that makes a difference. And I did weld slowly, but I think you've got to slow down to where it's just, you know, you've got to go a lot slower than what you think you got to go when you're doing this. And when it comes to the grinding, you know, I was trying to take it easy on the grinding, and it's really easy to get hot spots when you're grinding too, and you don't want to do that. So keep that in mind. If you want to try, you know, doing your own body work, you see me do it. You know what to expect now. So, but don't let how it turned out for me dissuade you from trying to learn how to do this for yourself. If you need to find a cheap, you know, work truck project to do to learn it on first, do it. I mean, I would like to do this on a nicer car at some point. And I've got my Sunbeam Alpine out in the shop. I'd like to do some body work on it, but I need to learn how to do it first. And so I get this cheap work truck that I'm gonna learn this stuff on first. Then I'll work on the Sunbeam Alpine. Don't be afraid. Get out here and do it.